All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Upscale Love for You. The program participants' opinions are based on the information that they consider from their own knowledge. No expressions or accuracy is related to Upscale Love for You.
Good evening, everyone. I am yours truly, Dr. Fabulous, the CEO and founder of Upscale Love for You. And this evening, before we get started, I must say this is an explicit topic. So if you have some little toddlers or anyone sitting around that's not over the age of 18, I would advise you to leave the room or put them in a designated area. So with that being said, now we have a special treat for you this evening. We have a sit-in co-host by the name of the distinguished brother. You can't see the remainder of his name on the screen, but he is definitely a distinguished brother. And we still have our Mr. Jackson. However, he can't come on right now. In her absence, we also have Special K. She will be joining us a little later this evening. And without further ado, we also have a new person that has come aboard as our lady of the streets, or should I say, word to the street, getting all that information
as our
to us. Lady. Okay, so here we go with the background. So let's see if we can get that rectified, because if not, ooh, we got to stop where we are. But no, we have none other than the one and only Marlena. She is going to be giving us some insight and keeping us up with some what's happening in the news starting next week. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you, Lady T, and welcome everyone. If this is your first time, don't let it be your last. Lady T, are you ready?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Fab. I am so excited tonight. This is yours truly, Lady T from the 305. It's a hot topic tonight, so women and men, let's bring it. I'm going to pass it on over to you, Dr. Feelgood.
Okay. Dr. Feelgood, I think, was working on some technical issues there.
I'm here,
but-
Doc. I just had to do my camera again.
Okay.
Welcome everybody. This is Dr. Feelgood, the man with the golden voice, lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce. Coming to you live from the 571, where I get things done. I'm always having fun. Bring that good wood because I do it real good. And if you ask nicely, I'll do it like I should. Now I'm passing it back to the distinguished brother. So get on the mic and sound like no other.
Good evening, everyone. I'm the distinguished brother. I'm just here to pass on a little knowledge, give what information I can, and try to make everybody feel as good as possible.
All right. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, if this is your first time joining us, let me give you a little information about Upscale Love for You. Upscale Love for You is formulated to entertain, educate, and facilitate self-help, self-love, and everything you want and wish to know about love, relationships, dating, and marriage. Yes, I did say marriage. That is part of the spectrum. Upscale Love for You often uncovers hot topics and sensitive issues. And, sometimes we talk about things that parents can go home and talk about with their young teens, some things that they really don't have that full 411 on. So we try to give you a little knowledge while you're having entertainment as well. And whether you are actively seeking directions or looking for ways to pass the time or just looking for a good conversation, Upscale Love is here for you and here to stay. So, like I said, don't let this be your last time. If you're joining us for the first time today, enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. All right. So as you know, Dr. Fabulous is always on the horn, and people just call anytime. But when it comes to Thursday night and it comes to Upscale Love for You, regardless if the house is not on fire, Dr. Fabulous is not taking any phone calls unless you're calling about Upscale Love for You. So now, can you all hear me? Because someone just told me my signal is bad. Can you hear me? Am I clear?
We can hear you, but you're coming in and out. You're beatboxing.
I'm beatboxing. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Feelgood, until I get this situated. And can you hear me now? Is it any clearer?
I can hear you, but you're coming in broken.
Okay, I'm gonna log off and log back in. Okay, friends, I'll be back shortly.
All right. All right, ladies and gents, this is Dr. Feelgood again, bringing it to you real good. Hey, I put up on the screen that I'm sharing. It's types of oral sex. We talked about would you kiss after oral sex. There are basically three types. One is oral, where you're doing fellatio or cunnilingus. And the other one is analingus, or colloquially known as tossing salad. It's when people like to eat from the exit and bring pleasure to their partner in that way. I've heard about it. I am not that interested in trying it or have it being tried, but hey, if that's what gets you off, that's what gets you off. The question of the day, people, is: would you kiss someone following any of those types of oral? Now, some people have if you've been with your partner for years and years and y'all just been doing that, then maybe, yeah, I could see that happening. I could see people coming forth and saying, hey, we know each other's body and we take precautions, and we can do that. But if it's somebody you don't know and you trying to lick, eat, or suck on the first date, I'm going to say it like this: something is wrong with you. So just don't pass me no straws or no, because you put your mouth on anything. If you don't, especially if you don't know the person, at least know what their favorite color is before you start going downtown to chow. Lady T, what do you feel about kissing after the types of oral stimulation?
Absolutely not. I don't care how clean you are, not. I think that is so disgusting. You need to wipe yourself, clean yourself. And as far as the exit, you can forget it. That is out of my league.
Okay. That's Miss Destiny. Miss Destiny, could you answer the same question? Would that be something that you do?
No, not at all.
So if someone performed cunnilingus on you and came up to kiss you, you wouldn't kiss them?
No, especially if it's like, if I don't know you, just like you spoke earlier, if it's been a long relationship, possibility, but no one like first, second date, no, not at all.
Even if you're feeling it and he's kissing you all good and real well and getting you all hot and bothered like a bright, clear, sunny day?
No,
You
no,
can
no.
you can be Freddy Krueger boo and get up and go brush your teeth. Not.
Well,
Okay.
I am Freddy Krueger, so I should tell you something. But just understanding it's personal preference. Um, Personally, I have done that before, but it's
Please
not
specify that. What is that? What
cunnilingus.
have you done before? Oh, okay. I just wanted to be clear.
Tossing salad is not in my repertoire. um, I perform, of course, I have a PhD in the cunnilingual arts. PhD stands for performing head diligently from um, Lick U.
Oh wow.
My
Oh, I like that.
oral dissertation caused a lot of consternation because other men got mad because all the sisters I made them glad. You know, I licked them up and down until they said stop. But then I kept it going because I'm always flowing. The rivers be going and I just be doing my thing. Now, I'll guest speak, a distinguished brother. Have you ever performed cunnilingus and then kiss your woman afterward, or kiss the other person, kiss your partner afterwards?
One, it will always be female, so we can get that out there right now.
So
Always
that's
be
All right,
female.
distinguished brother. That's what I'm talking about.
Cunnilingus.
Secondly, so what now?
That's why I said cunnilingus. You can't do
Yes.
cunnilingus to a man.
Yeah. Okay. No, just making that. Well, no. Secondly, I will put it this way: I have my black belt in Kung Fu. That's how I will let that sit on the screen right now.
So you're a regular.
Lastly, yes, it has been done afterwards, on both ends, simply because I was with someone at the time where we knew each other well, we knew what was going on, we knew what we were after, and one thing just led to the other. So yes, it has been done, it can be done. There's nothing, I know some people may look at it as something that's gross, but it's you. It's coming from you. You know what it is. You know where it's coming from. You know how clean you are. So you should be good with that. And actually, some people, some females use it as a simple aphrodisiac. They enjoy that smell, or they enjoy tasting themselves after someone has tasted them. I've even had people that are like, I really wonder what I taste like. So this is one way of finding out. But that actual smell, that actual energy that you can get, especially when you have someone that has their black belt in Kung Fu, that knows what they're doing, they can bring all of that out of you.
Oh wow.
Well, that's sort of being like that person's personal freak that brings you out. Because I always state, everybody has a DFW button. What does DFW stand for? Down for whatever. If they're with the people that they really trust and are truly into, there's nothing that they'll do that's between them. It stays between them. That is
Exactly.
so. Now that, of course, there are hard stops. I'm not gonna sit up here and say anything's possible, but the emotions and the physicality flows freer when you're with somebody you absolutely trust and respect. Because dudes especially ain't gonna just regular dudes ain't just gonna eat any old box, because you might go down to be tuna casserole. Of course, there's always a scent. Women try to mask it, but if their pheromones are going, it's going to be a scent, and that scent does not smell like mackerel, ladies.
No, that scent is somewhat pleasant if it's with the right person, like you said, if they keep themselves together.
And the pheromones.
Yes.
And guys have a certain musk to them, because it's good to be musky. It's bad to be musty. Because if a woman goes down there and smells nothing but ball juice, as Magic Mike said, Magic Mike said when he had Damon's testicles in the vice grip for Friday After Next. We're all colored folks. I know we've all seen it. And he said, we go down there and you smell like 3 days of leftover ball juice. Ain't no woman put no mouth on you. She ain't even gonna give you the lick 100. But on that on that note, I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to talk about orgasm statistics as it relates to men.
Okay, that's a good little topic.
Now, as you can see, the number is low. So none of y'all really. That's 2 out of every 10 women that orgasm from penetration alone. That means y'all want, usually you want clitoral stimulation to help you get there. And the best way for a man to do that is to perform cunnilingus. But of course, he's got to know what he's doing. You don't want no teeth on the man in the boat. And you see here, 81.6. Let me try to make this a little. 81.6% of women don't orgasm in intercourse alone without additional clit stimulation, right? Now, 95% of men usually orgasm during sexual activity. However, men don't usually orgasm with oral. So, you know, some of y'all be talking about the guac 3000. The only way the man will climb it in reality. Somebody's got a hot mic.
I'm not sure. You're gonna have to have them muted as they come in, Dr. Philbert.
But as I was saying, the reason men do come with oral is that women use their hands to stimulate the phallus while licking on the glands or the head. And that's how a man, that's most likely, or that the little undervein on the bottom, that's what, you know, you keep messing around with that. But that's why they talk about guac 3000 with the master twist, because even, you know, mouth alone is not going to do it for most men.
I don't believe that, Dr. Feelgood. Your mouth game got to be real tight and right, and then, I mean, they will come. But
if you build a Hoover, they will come.
Exactly, they will come. So if you're taking your teeth and skinning that banana, then of course not. You need some other type of penetration. But if it's hot and wet and you got it tight, like, I don't know, a wrench, I think you will come.
Or you say it's got to come with vacuum sealing.
You gotta know how to, you know, you see them videos, you gotta know how to squeeze it.
But the majority of women don't even like. Majority of women, from what I mean, this is anecdotal. It is not fact. I'm saying this is my opinion based off my experiences. Is that most women don't really like to perform fellatio. So when they do it,
that's true. I second that.
Yeah, I gotta go along with that.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, they treat it more as a job than a hobby.
Yes.
Are you saying that the woman does not enjoy performing fellatio? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, most majority
like doing it. They like getting it done. 90%.
They don't like doing it. Where's the reciprocation?
But they don't want to rock that mic when it comes time. And then, so if you're not doing something, you're not enthusiastic about it, guess what? You're not putting it all in all. And going back to what Lady T was saying, I can understand but that's when you have total faith in your partner, because
I'm
saying is spitters are quitters.
Well, then maybe they need to wash it, make it smell good. They need to massage it, make it soft and silky. You know, don't nobody want to go digging in the floor.
I'm saying no, but they can do all of that, and some women will. The majority of women will still treat it as a chore. That's not something y'all could talk for 3 hours, but get 2 minutes on the pole, and y'all be like, "My job."
Like you're dying. I don't understand that concept.
Yeah, because y'all
guys
that on multiple occasions. You're too anxious. You want to ram it in. You want to go fast.
No. See, but that's for the 2-hump chump. talking about when you're with a guy who appreciates a woman, and she's doing what she's doing because she wants to do it, not because she feels she has to do it. Then that'll be more likely for causing the climax. However, most women do. The majority of women don't like putting their mouth on me.
Well, that's somebody else. So that's
And
kind of-
right, you
Well,
don't look at, I'm saying, you're not gonna lick on every banana you see naked. So that's another thing. And so it's not like y'all practice every day going down on the banana.
What the hell?
So
Somebody
I said,
needs to mute. Okay.
some women enjoy, they will climax off of pleasing that man. And while she performs fellatio, she'll climax without her being touched, or without her rubbing her genitalia, or even
correct.
it's always a race when you're in the inverted oral position, because the woman always wins because she always finishes first. Because once you start eating it right, she's gonna stop doing what she's doing. She's gonna be like, wait.
But Lady T, I have to agree with him. Trust me, I have to agree with him. Y'all,
Okay, let me hear your views.
You get the
y'all are not as dedicated as we are. Just in
Okay.
general. I'm not saying every woman, but in general, when you pull them all together, you're not as dedicated as we are. When
But
you
I
have
agree with
somebody
you.
that is dedicated, that is a soul snatcher, as the new term is nowadays, and we are trying to get you to the point where you have just absolutely lost your mind, why can't we get that back?
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you're with someone, first of all, the same way we take pride, in our little kitten is the same way you all need to take pride in it. I mean, we massage it, we tone it, put toner on it, make it look good, we wax it, make it smell good. Okay.
Even with all of that, though, that's what I'm saying, Lady T. Even with all of that,
I'm telling you, you do all of that,
everything
make it fluffy, it will get done right.
no.
Like I said, you still gotta be
Okay.
one.
For all the guys that are on here, and yes, I'm taking a little advantage of this. For all the guys that are on here, from your experience, from the time you started till today, whether you have groomed, whether you are bald, whether you leave it hairy, make sure it's clean and fresh. If you look back over all that time, has it been 100% reciprocated with the effort that you have put out to make sure that you're doing it right? Just in general, if anybody else wants to jump in, I don't think it is, no matter how clean you make it.
Gentlemen, raise your hand if a woman has always made you climax through oral.
Hands, any hands? I don't think you're gonna see one.
I think they're shy tonight. They're not ready for this.
And I can't even believe
Can I say something?
No, you can't. No, we're being honest. You're supposed to be honest, and not knocking you, man, Lady T. You may be one of the exceptions, but again, it is the exception to the rule. We're trying to find out why we can't make it the rule.
But that's what I'm saying. I have friends who, like, you can't do anything to them until they take care of that man. I mean, period. Let them go down first, do whatever. Bring in the oils, the food, whatever, the ice. Once they satisfy him, then bam, okay, level 2.
And there needs to be a university put together, because I have yet to find a group of them.
Oh, I don't know. 305 is definitely live.
Let's flip.
I guess if you're from the 305, you know what to do, when to do, and how to do.
Let's flip. Ladies, put a 1 in the box if every time that you tried to do fellatio, the man reached climax. put a 1 in the box. If not,
you can't say every time, but you can say majority of the time, because
either majority of the time. Okay, more than 50% of the time. That's majority. 51% is majority.
It's called foreplay. So I can foreplay on your chest, down under, I can take care of business. It will happen. And then on to the next adventure.
Okay.
All right.
So that tells me, but that kind of proves what I was saying. If y'all look on the screen, it shows you the average time it takes for a man and a woman to climax. Of course, a woman knows her body or should know her body, so it's going to take a lot faster than men. And I don't know. It doesn't say whether it's through coitus or through cunnilingus that causes women 14 minutes. I'm tending to believe that it's probably a combination of both.
Mm-hmm.
A combination of both. It's shorter than 8 minutes if a guy knows what he's doing, and it's a lot longer than 8 minutes if her clitoris is desensitized, and it takes a little while longer to get that thing warmed up. And how can it be desensitized? Using your battery operated boyfriends or your robes. And hey, if you got the feeling,
or the shower head, throw that in there.
Hey, if that's how you got to get off, hey, that's on you. But on average, like I said, the majority of men do not climax from fellatio, and it takes a lot. I used to have a 2-for-1 policy. You have to come twice before I come first, because the customer always comes first when it comes to me, when I'm bringing my pleasure delivery service.
That should be every man's goal.
It should be, but we have selfish men out there who want to get theirs. And then where is Leanne? Because I'm like her, you got to put me to sleep. I don't have time for those type of games.
But that's the ultimate goal there, though, that, by the time it's over, all you should be able to do is curl up, suck a finger, go to sleep.
And some men are selfish. They want to get theirs, and then you're left, and you have to take care of yourself. And that's where the toy boyfriend come in.
And that's where those men should be dragged out back and beaten.
And left. Because if you, the worst thing a man can do to a woman is to leave her constantly needing more. And what I mean by that is if he gets his and just, if he's a 2-hump chump, he ain't eating eating it right. He ain't getting your mind in the mood to climax, because your biggest sexual organ is your mind, the greatest sexual organ.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not an easy way, but men who know your body, and that's why he shouldn't eat box on the first night. Men who are intimate with a woman's body can read a woman's body. He knows what to do to get you there fast or get you there more than once. So that's the difference between just straight transaction up and down and intimacy, because men do crave intimacy, but hopefully after that intimacy they're gonna get theirs. Women have to have intimacy in order to climax, because the dude could be down there getting his liquor license. If he don't know what he's doing and you ain't feeling it, guess what? You are not.
It's a turn on.
You was telling him, get up, son. You don't know what you're doing, or get up, son.
Right.
So you have to. It's not a one size fit all. Well, I have one size fit all, but but the idea is that you have to understand the woman that you're with, what turns her on, how to get her there, and to make sure that she gets hers way before you get yours. Because I'm a guy who gets pleasure off of giving pleasure. That's
so you're a rare breed.
No, there are a lot of guys like that. But but you have to really like the woman to do that. Because the worst thing happened, if I'm coming within 10 seconds, I wasn't really into you. Now, thank you
Oh, well, that's good to know.
for the free thing, but if I'm just like, that's not gonna work because y'all talk, y'all talk, y'all talk, and every man's goal is to make sure that you get at least one or two, so y'all can't talk trash because, contrary to belief, and I have a lot of female friends, they tell me y'all talk about how
Of
good,
course.
was he, he thought he looked good, he smelled good, but he didn't F good, or he didn't
That's
lick
right.
good. So guys are aware, more guys than you think that are aware of that. And if he really is into you, he'll take his time. He ain't trying to get up in there all quick. He's going to do things. He's going to do the foreplay to get you to that limit to where once you do it and you're good and you need another one, that's when he comes and finishes you off with the jackhammer pile driver 610, or he can even long stroke like daddy long stroke, bring it to the back, give you the hezzy, hit the wall left, hit the wall right, hit cervix, repeat the process.
I got a question. Do women like getting their butt eaten, or is that just a
And do women like getting their salad tossed? That's the question.
Well, I mean, some women,
Yes or no question.
okay, it depends on the woman because some women like that first and then you can go to the vagina. But it depends on the female. Most females do not.
Before you do cunnilingus, a woman will get BV. And guys, if you don't know what BV is, bacterial vaginosis. And from what I understand, it is not pleasant for a woman to have.
Nah.
So you ran
I've
that
known a
smell
couple of women that have
for
gotten it, and it's
really
not
that's the
fun.
reason. Yeah. So I mean, you want to do it, that's fine, but you have to be mindful of how you do things. You want to also be clean. And then when you go from one area to the next, you have bacteria everywhere. In your mouth.
What happened? Lady T died out.
Something happened to my Lady T. Well,
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I was saying that you just have to be clean. When you're going from one section to the next, you have to be mindful, of all the bacteria, even in your mouth. You have herpes in your mouth. If you want to do oral and then go to the vagina, now you're spreading it there. If you want to, go to the anal area, now you're carrying it there with other things. So you just have to be mindful. Use condoms. Condoms is a wonderful thing. I don't know how many men would like, or women would like, a person to use a condom while they're doing, oral, but I mean, hey, you just have to be cautious.
Dr. Fabulous, you've been quiet.
But you should be cautious regardless. Whether that's why every box or every eggplant ain't a good eggplant. So you got to be careful who you giving your oral gifts to, because if you do it to everybody, then it's not special, and you might be taking something to them, or you might catch something from somebody. When you're with your partner, you have to be careful because you don't want to hurt them in any way. So yes, it is. If you're in a monogamous long-term relationship, or even a monogamous long-term situationship where y'all exclusive, it's a lot easier to do that than it would be to be the midnight ranger or rangerette and run out there and hop on every box or hop on every eggplant you get around that allows you to. Just because somebody allows you to doesn't mean you should do it.
So now, Dr. Feelgood, I have a question for for all the men, and I'm very curious. So when they're performing oral sex, what is this with swallowing? Isn't that unhealthy?
What do you mean, from fellatio or from cunnilingus?
Well, the women extract is common, but I'm talking about the men.
Okay, hold on. So are you saying, is it a problem when the woman swallows?
Yes.
No.
No.
Medically, even if you do a little research, medically, you will see that actually that's healthy for you. It
How is that
contains
healthy?
some vitamins, it contains some nutrients, and it also helps as far as skin tone is concerned, and it acts as kind of a relaxation agent within the woman.
Can you find that, Dr. Feelgood? Because you guys need to give me facts. I think it's disgusting. And I also think, if you're not a clean man, meaning if you drink, smoke, or, eat unhealthy, why would I want you to put, all of that, in me? So that doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't appease me at all.
Okay, I'm putting Lady T, I'm about to share my screen again. And according to Google, it is safe.
Google said it was safe?
Well, I Googled the question, and it's WebMD. WebMD, the
Okay.
ingredients that make up semen are safe. Some people have had severe or allergic reactions to it, but this is very rare. Biggest risk with swallowing semen is getting a sexually transmitted infection. We talked about that. You can easily cop, like you just said, herpes, syphilis, and gonorrhea from performing oral sex. But the semen itself is not toxic. And then
14, yeah, click on that.
this is 14 ways to know about swallowing man juice. This tells you what it is: spermatozoa and other fluids.
Oh, it can taste bitter and salty.
Yes,
Or
that's
something.
what the man eats. You would have to consume gallons to see any dietary benefit health.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I definitely learned something tonight. It has zinc in it, so it helps with the cold.
mm-hmm.
There are benefits to it.
Yeah. Not as many.
Okay.
It's low in calories, and if the guy is eating right, it tastes great. But it just tells you there are a few foods that can make it more powerful, less acidic.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, okay. I beg to differ.
And this is what you're talking about: drinking and smoking.
Yeah, drinking, smoking, just I don't want nothing in me that tastes awful.
Eat a lot of meat. And this is what it can do to both male and female.
Right. This is what I was looking for, to show you that it is a mood booster for yourself.
Uh-huh. Oh, antidepressant?
Yes, ma'am.
I think everyone needs to swallow some of that.
We leave it to the ladies. we'll leave. If we want stress relief, us ladies. Why do some people decide after?
Okay.
There are multiple benefits. There are reasons for it. You just have to be willing to abide by those reasons.
So basically, you have to know your partner, trust your partner, and then, go forward with it.
Have a wonderful time. Just make sure that you're doing as much as you're getting, if not more.
And what I'm saying, spitters are quitters. So babysit them kids for me.
Oh, well, I guess I'm a quitter because there's nothing going down this esophagus.
See right there, all the information we just provided, and you still want to be different about it.
Well, you got to go to the doctor. I need a full health report.
And that's fine.
And that's
That is
fine.
fine. I am fully with that. Anybody that I have been with, it's like I need to know a few things before we get this done.
And that's why I said you have to know your partner. And because dude, like I said, dudes, you don't want to do that say I'll eat your box or I'll toss your salad at 5 minutes after meeting them. Because where else he gonna put his mouth? Where else he gonna put his mouth? Who else he said that to? And that's contrary to popular belief, most guys with sense, if a woman gives it up, like wants to give it up to him within an hour or two of meeting him, he's not gonna really take it. Because if you think about that, that is more like, who else she doing that for? Even if you were the only person they did it with, is just like I was telling someone earlier. If I was hanging out with my boys and we was at the strip club and a picture was out there of me sitting next to a stripper with a booty in the thing, and I'm looking a different direction, it'd be hard for me to tell my lady, yeah, I was just there. I was just there. So you got to keep in mind that some things that people do and some things that people say are two different things. But you got to remind yourself that we'll be able to get you there. And that's why I say you got to know your partner. You got to really know your partner. But are there any more questions? Because I'm about to pass it over to Lady T. Thank you for listening to hopefully I didn't put y'all too much to sleep, but I wanted to keep it straight with y'all and make sure that y'all understand what I was talking about. On to you, Lady T.
Okay, well, I'm gonna jump in quickly while Lady T takes care of the necessities. But this evening, I'm looking at the statistics according to what was shown. Apparently, we do not have enough men on this evening that will agree that majority of the time, and you all are saying differently, Dr. Feelgood and Distinguished Brother, that when it comes to the stimulation of the female performing fellatio, you all are saying that majority of the time you won't get to that peak. And I will tend to disagree. And like Lady T said, apparently it must be a 305 kind of thing or kind of vibe, because majority of the time when you have a woman that knows how to perform fellatio and she does it right, most of the time it can make a man toes curl backwards. So with that being said, Distinguished Brother, can you hear me? Because I can't hear you. I don't have any sound. Does everyone hear me?
Yes, I hear you, because I even said that you were being kind of quiet there. I was waiting for you to jump in here.
No. I was waiting for my turn because I have been taking a poll all this week from different men, all ages, starting from the age of 30 up to the age of 60. And out of that poll that I got from those individuals, each one of those men said they enjoy the stimulation of the female company opposed to having to sweat and get all down and dirty and deep down within, as far as the difference of stimulation and penetration. But when I'm listening to,
but listen, Dr. Fab,
I'm listening.
You are right. You're right in regards. We never said that men don't enjoy it. We never said that men don't like it.
But you also said that majority of men don't
Yeah.
climax when it's done. And that's where I have a total disagreement for that, because I don't know a man yet that has had the proper treatment to get him to his point from an individual or female, or even if they're gay or whatever, from their partner, where they're not going to have that experience of ecstasy. So I'm not understanding, and I listened to you all, and I said, I'm just going to sit back and listen until it's time for me to say what I have to say. Because if you're telling me that the person that who has performed fellatio and you have not gotten to your point, or you didn't roll your eyes in the back of your head, apparently that individual didn't know what she was doing, or he didn't know what he was doing,
Right.
if it's male on male.
And that's my point. And that's my point, is that that's one of the factors we talked about. We talked about two things: enthusiasm and having enough knowing and reading a man's body. Most women don't read men's bodies, because men are relatively simple. You know, you stroke a here, you lick a there, and they can get there. But when it comes to receiving fellatio from a
Now,
woman,
I'm going to disagree with you on that point also.
I totally
Because
disagree.
exactly, because you say you lick her here, you touch her there. That's not necessarily true, because you can lick all day long and touch all day long, but if you're not touching that particular spot, or she's not getting into the groove of what you're doing, that's the worst thing in the world. When you want to just say, get up, you wasting my time.
that was my point. That's what the Distinguished Brother and I was saying. A woman's not enthusiastic about it, about doing it, if she thinks of it more as a chore and truly pleasing her partner, it ain't gonna come out right. She can know what she's doing, but if she ain't feeling it that way, it ain't gonna, she's wasting her time. And a lot of men, and here's some inside baseball. A lot of men won't tell you your head is trash because they still want to get the head.
Okay, well, this is what I'm getting ready to say, because it's normal. Well, it should be a 50-50, everybody giving 50 plus 50, which is 100% on both ends. If you're that close, or you're with that person or your partner, you should be going for 100% plus, if you're the female or the male. So if you got a lazy person that you're dealing with, then that's not the person that you're going to delight or treat ever again, because that's definitely a treat. That's not,
I totally agree, Dr. Fab.
I'm just saying, because I listened to the conversation and I was like, that's different for me. And most time, and I'll say this, in this generation, the younger generation, this is like what they expect. But when it comes down to the older gentleman, when you meet a man, and that's the reason why I took the survey or the poll, not just from 30-year-olds. I had 30, 40, 50, 60. I even had a guy that was 68 years old. And he said that because during his age or his time frame of coming up, everyone felt that having oral stimulation was actually nasty, and it was something that he would never ask or even mention to his wife, but he would go out and pay a $25 hooker to do it, because he said in his time, in his day, a real lady wouldn't do that. And when I explained to him, I said, well, if that's your partner and you all are as one, so to speak, or if you're dating someone and this is not like a one night stand situation, you wouldn't consider that person to be a hook or crook, because guess what? You're with that person and you want to please or pleasure them in the same manner. He said, but back in his time frame, women just did not do that. So I understood, but even asking him the question, he says when it's done to him, and even he admitted that he has paid for it to be done to him, and he said he enjoyed that stimulation better than penetration. He said he could care less about sticking it if it's done right to him and he do it right to the other person. So I explained to him, okay, I don't know how old your wife is, but I guarantee you, if you all had an open conversation about it, it might be just a little bit different, and you might could get it at home and not go pay for it every time. So that's all I got to say. And I'm gonna turn it back over to Lady T because I believe she's back in the house right now. Can you hear me, Lady T?
Yes, I'm here, Dr. Fab. One
Okay, I
thing,
stepped in for you.
thank you. One thing for sure, when you're taking care of your partner, you're going to see them toes moving, their body like tensing up, and then when you're down under, you will see that muscle, that vein like get harder, and you know you're doing it right. But if he's sitting there or she's sitting there and ain't nothing getting big and things aren't moving, then no, you're not doing it right. And no, I would not want you either. So, I just think when when you're in a relationship, you just need to learn your partner and stop worrying about just hitting it and quitting it. Just get in, learn that part of the body, what makes them tick. Take it slow. Go from left to right, from top to bottom, from inside out. There's things that you can do, and prior to the toys, you have a lot of body parts that you can use to please one another. So, Dr. Feelgood, what do you have to say about that?
You said you spoke no lies. I'm saying this. That's the thing. It's like this type of intimacy, whether it be fellatio, cunnilingus, or analingus, is something you don't do with everybody. You want to make sure that that person is pleased to the most, and you got to be enthusiastic about it. Some women do it to kind of get them hard so they can put it in. Some women like to do it to completion. Um, and going back to what you were saying, Dr. Fabulous, you didn't say anything wrong, but we were just trying to we were using our own personal experience and antidotes to kind of paint that picture. When there are a lot of women that know how to do it, but they lack the will or want to do it to completion. Because like Lady T said, she ain't swallowing nothing but air, food, and water, air, food, and drink. She ain't on no milk diet.
All facts.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this, and I'm going back to distinguished brother on last week from a fantasy. If you're having a weekend and you're into that weekend, I'm not sure if you would be on a milk diet or you wouldn't be on a milk diet, but if it's intense and you're enjoying the moment, who knows? She could drink a milkshake and not even know it. So that's all I have to say about that. But
You're
this
right.
is what I'm getting ready to call on Malik Jackson. Can you hear me, Malik? Malik Jackson?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me, Malik?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know you from a can of paint, but I want to ask a question. What is your age? Can you tell me your age?
Yes, I'm 27. I'm 28.
You're
Sorry, I just turned 28.
okay, baby boy. You in the 20s. So
Yeah.
it's whatever it is. But as a young man, I don't know. I can't tell you if you've ever been in a serious relationship or you're dating someone seriously. But when you're in a passionate romantic state and you choose to have the oral stimulation factor in your relationship, do you really think about if you're going to swallow or not at the age of 27?
I don't really do the swallowing, to be honest.
You don't do the swallowing thing.
No,
So
I mean,
you're consciously thinking about whether or not you're going to swallow. That's what I'm asking.
no, what I'm saying is like usually like the woman does the swallowing. I don't really do the swallowing.
Okay, so apparently now let me build this picture for you. You say you don't necessarily do the swallowing. Well, if
Yeah, that's not really my thing because I don't really.
But
I guess
so what
I
you're
say
telling
I'm a
me,
straight man.
no, this is what I'm asking. Listen to the question.
Okay,
The
I'm
question
listening.
is, if you're doing oral stimulation to a woman and you're telling me you're not into the swallowing thing, well, how
Oh,
are
you
you
talking
doing?
about as far as like oral? Oh, you talking about
If
as far as the
if
woman
you're
ejaculating?
all compensating a female and you're saying you're not into the swallowing thing, tell me how that is done without that happening on your tongue or
Oh
taste
no,
buds.
if I'm doing it with the women, of course. I mean, you gotta get down and down and dirty. You gotta get your hands dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Okay,
gotta
I
put your
was
back.
just wondering.
Yeah, you gotta put your back into it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. So thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Jackson, for that, Malik Jackson.
Yeah.
And back to the women. Now, if you're laying there consciously thinking about whether or not you're going to swallow or not, you got to really think about, are you really into the moment of what you're doing? Or you're thinking, I'm just doing this because it's part of a routine. So in my chat box, I'm going to ask you to put a number 2 if you're actually laying there thinking about, should I swallow? Should I not? I just need to see. It's no judgment here. It's the no judgment zone. But I basically wanted to see, because I don't understand that if you're in the heat of the moment and you're very passionate about what you're doing, how can you think about whether or not, am I going to swallow? Am I going to spit? Am I going that's what I'm trying to figure out here. All right. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Lady T. I'm sorry I had to jump in and ask that question.
Well, I don't have to think. The answer is no, I'm not. But one thing I would like to say, men and women, if you're with a partner, I think you should take the time, learn their body. I mean, you can play games, touch it with oils. Some guys like their nipples played with and it turns them on. You can kiss them on the cheek, on the ears, on the tummy. There's things that you can do. And so my question is, with the oral stimulation, would you be willing to, how can you say, would you be willing to try like different positions with that? Like with the Ice Cube 69 doing positions with that. I mean, are you willing to like take your time, learn that person's body and try different things and swallow? Anyone? You're muted, Dr. Fab.
Are you asking this question to the men on the panel?
Men and women. 69, men and women.
Okay, well, for those of, I was getting ready to say, for those of you that's over the age of 50, sometimes your knees and joints may not move the same. And they actually have a book. They have a book that gives you comforting ways to position yourself into, I'm Dr. Fabulous for a reason. And it gives you different positions that, okay, you all can look this up. It's called a butterfly. I want y'all to look this up, men, women, boys, and girls. No, boys and girls, I pray not.
Dr. Feelgood, can you put it in the chat?
21
or show it on the screen?
years of age. Dr. Feelgood, you're quick at it. If you could look up the butterfly, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, get that book. It is absolutely fabulous for people over 50. Okay.
Dr. Fabulous.
And some of these here young children, young people, young adults, let me get the wording right. some of the young adults may find it very interesting as well.
Dr. Fabulous, I got a question
So
for you.
different positions. I'm listening.
Got a question for you. Now, are we
Not
talking?
the butterfly vibrator.
Well,
It's
that
called the
was my question. Are
butterfly
we talking?
position. We're talking about a particular position for oral stimulation, not the
Okay.
butterfly vibrator. So
All
if
right,
you
but
type
there's
in
still
Google butterfly position doing oral sex, not sex toy position, correct.
right. Now I still have another question here because there
I'm
are two
listening.
parts to that.
Mm-hmm.
There is the actual position, or
Mm-hmm.
are you speaking of the 1 hour orgasm butterfly?
No, I'm speaking of the position.
Okay, just the position. Okay. Because
See,
there
it
is a
says move on down, read it. The Venus butterfly position might be the greatest sex technique ever. And I can't think of the name of the book, but next time I have the book too. No, they won't give me my 10%. So I'm not going to sell their book for them. But it is actually a wonderful, wonderful book for anyone that's into pleasuring of their partners. Partner,
That's
not
a norm.
partner.
That's a
No,
norm position.
no, it's not. You have to roll on up. Wait, he passing on by it because
Maybe you have to go to images.
Tried
you
that.
might have to go to images. Not videos, images.
No, there's really no images that
Okay, hold on. Let me look while we're doing this. But anyway, go ahead. Special K, are you in the house? I saw you come on. Did she come on and leave out?
Yeah, she's not here right now.
Yeah, she's trying to.
Okay.
But it goes back to my point. You know, if a man or woman gets you to the point to climax, you will do anything.
Even swallow, Lady T. I'm just trying to help you out, girl. Trying to help you out.
I don't care how much I climax. That is not an option.
Stop the lying. Stop the lying. She don't even know it when she do it.
No, negative.
There are pillows that help with this position.
I'm telling y'all, better get this book. I'm gonna send this book on out to you all. Everybody on my podcast, I'm gonna send y'all a copy of it.
Now, are they going to
Y'all still
show
looking for it?
So I'm looking
the
for
one position that a lot of people don't talk about?
I bet you these young people on this here podcast, they're gonna be tearing Google up tonight when they get off the podcast, trying to figure out what is the butterfly position.
Tearing it up.
Yep, they're not showing the one that I thought they would show, but okay.
Not the washing machine.
I didn't say the washing machine, did you?
And the bridge.
okay. That looks painful.
Very.
Okay, go to the Bad Girls Bible. It's in the Bad Girls Bible. Oh, y'all already there, huh?
Yeah, that's where this comes from.
Okay, all right. So y'all found it.
I'm still looking for,
The butterfly.
yeah.
Try searching on the top right.
There we go. That's the butterfly. And it says
They
it's
didn't
a great
show,
position on the table.
they're showing it with the position of the female down. However, the book, let's see, hit the arrow to the right. Let's see what it has.
Anvil.
It won't allow you to go to the right.
No, that's what that's what I was doing.
Oh,
Which is-
okay. Well, it's not showing the position
Those are,
of the
yeah, those are the
butterfly,
norm.
because the butterfly position for the female normally is where the guy is on his back and the female, a butterfly has wings. So what are you doing? You're straddling the guy over the facial area. So it's not showing it here, but I'm going to send my crew an actual book. So anyway, I've done my portion by getting everyone a little question like, what is the butterfly? So, Andreen, can you hear me? Andreen, you know I was going to call on you, Andreen. And I'm going to come to you, Keisha, and I'm going to come back to, is Mr. Jackson in the house yet?
Yes, I'm here.
No. Mr. Jackson, not Malik Jackson. We got a Mr. Jackson, IYN on the board. Are you available yet?
Oh, Nasty
Okay, well,
Jackson.
That's
I'm a-
right. Say it again. Nasty J.
Nasty J.
Oh, okay.
Why yeah, the brother ain't he's just himself. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. I'm coming back to Andreen. Andreen, can I ask you your age?
I am 49.
You're how old now? I didn't hear you.
49.
You're 49. So at the age of 49, is it a difference in the age zone where you talk about oral stimulation opposed to penetration? Is there an age gap with that? Is that something that was talked about in your age era as far as penetration versus stimulation?
OMG. That's, I feel like, I actually think in my era, I think oral stimulation was more intimate than penetration.
Okay.
So I think, I don't know, I feel like nowadays everyone is definitely more open, and I would definitely say more, I don't know, expressive about the difference, but I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like it was almost like oral is, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, I tend to think like I'm probably a little conservative, or I am conservative, so I just,
Okay.
and I feel like now I feel like everything is more open. You hear it, this conversation, but as you can see with my relative discomfort and running around the topic, it's just something where
I definitely understand, because that's what I was saying to the older gentlemen, because we are now able to express ourselves and have conversations of sort. You know, you do that in the privacy. As we say, we're on a podcast, so we are talking to learn, to discuss, so forth and so on. But majority of the time in our age era, and you're 49, you're close to that 59, you never really talked about this conversation, because even as a woman, if this was something you were interested in our earlier years, you never mentioned it, because you didn't want them to think, oh my God, what kind of girl is that girl? You know, oh my God, what kind of woman is she that she's willing to have this conversation. And so in 2023, everything I believe has been talked about, is being talked about. And if you can have an adult conversation, as long as you keep it classy and not trashy, you basically can talk about anything and everything. And I appreciate you and Dream for sharing and even conversating. And I can't see who else I would like to call on because we're seeing these different positions. The swiper, I think Dr. Feelgood or the distinguished brother is enjoying the swiper. Oh, you got the shark fin, get on down with the get down. And this is in men's health. So maybe some men need to prescribe to that particular magazine, Men's Health, because they're giving you 12 free ways of to get it right, fellas. Hint, hint, hint. All right.
We can get it right. It's just a matter of getting what we're after. That's the problem.
As I always said, 50 plus 50 make 100, and everybody should definitely be giving 100% to their partner if it's really their partner. Okay, I can't put anything on mute because I can't see who to mute.
I got a question to take this a totally different, well, not a totally different direction, but just to change up a little bit.
Change it up. Give us something.
The question is, would the ladies on this line be
Can I get,
willing?
can we stop sharing so I can see who needs to be muted? Because I can hear the background talking. If you are talking and you have background noises, please mute it. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, distinguished brother. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. The question would be for the ladies on the line. If you have a man that is down with it, knows exactly what he's doing, takes his time, enjoys it for his own pleasure, are you down to allow him to continue until you just can't take it anymore?
Now, distinguished brother,
I will be the first one to say
you don't
yes.
even have to ask that question, distinguished brother. You already know what time it is.
No, I asked that question for a reason.
Okay.
Make me go into a seizure. Okay, distinguished brother. I want it all.
Oh.
I asked but I asked for a reason because in the past, there have been those that have said they want it, they enjoy it, but you get them to that point and they start running away. Why is that?
I'm a reaction. It's just a reaction. When you're ready
for it, so why would you run away from it?
Because it's just a reaction from what's happening with your body. You have to train them to stay there and take it. And that was one of the questions I said last week. You had an orgasm, were you able, or can you be addicted to it? Because once you train them to stay there and then you're like putting it all in, then there's a feeling like the first high. So there's a feeling that you get that when you do it the next time, you're searching for it, but you can't get it because they don't know how to do it. So you're just constantly doing it until you finally get that feeling again.
You kind of lost me on that one, special. I'm gonna say, Lady T. You said
when you have your first, orgasm, and if it's right, it's a special feeling. You can have sex and come. However, when he do it right or she do it right, it's a certain type of feeling that you get. Your entire body just tingles. And when they're there doing the exercise, you have to train your body to stay there and not run, because when you're doing it back to back like that, you tremble, you shake, you do all kind of things. Am I right?
I agree, but that's why I wonder why there are those that just run away. And they've tried to describe that feeling, but it's like, I would think that if you're getting what you're asking for, you've stated you're one of these people that have never really experienced it, or you're one of them two pump chumps like um, was described before, and you finally got somebody that's actually doing it right. I mean, they got you to the point where all you can do is just not even speak proper English anymore. Why are you running from it? This is what you asked for.
Because you have to train their body to accept it.
Or just hold them in place and just say, take it.
Okay, that's an option. But you have to train, they have to train their body to release that way.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I mean, I just got one answer, so I'll take that as if all the other ladies are in agreement.
Well,
No,
not necessarily. That was Lady T answering. I'm going to allow our other panelists, maybe they would like to speak or share. Keisha, can you hear me, Keisha? Is Keisha here? Well, you know what? I haven't heard from Miss Nikki Johnson. Miss Nikki Johnson, can you hear me? Okay. I guess we're on to listening tonight and not.
This is a sensitive topic, Dr. Fab. Everyone doesn't want to share.
That's why I like Andreen. Boy, I can call on Andreen and Andreen say, I'm gonna give you something, whether she want to hear it or not.
I'm sorry, it's Nikki. I was on mute and I was trying to find the Zoom thing on my phone.
Okay.
What comment would what would you like me to comment?
Distinguished brother, you can ask Nikki. She'll answer.
Okay. Once again, the question was, if you have finally gotten with someone who has taken the time to learn you and is giving you all that you asked for, getting you to the point where you've lost it. You can't speak correct English. Your eyes are crossing. You're exploding again and again and again. Why do you run from that when that's what you asked for?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Okay.
Maybe it's because if my body, like Lady T was saying, my body needs to get accustomed to it. So if it's something new to me, I might just say, hey, time out, let me recoup and let me breathe so I can find my grounding. Let me get grounded again and see if I can continue to enjoy the moment.
Good answer, Nikki. Good answer. Good answer. Regroup. There you go. Then she's going in for the long haul. Bing, bang, boom. Anything else, distinguished brother?
I just wanted to change the dynamics a little bit and just get that question answered. That's all.
All right. Well, with that being said, is there anyone that would like to openly ask a question to us, the host and co-host? Any questions that need to be answered, asked, we're here for you. You can ask us anything and we got the answer. We'll definitely try to answer it for you. Are there anyone that would like to ask a question at this time? Malik, you have any questions? Okay, who said yes?
Oh, no question.
No questions? Keisha, any questions?
For Nasty Jackson to get on.
You was waiting for Nasty Jackson? Well, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I want to hear what he had to say. He's been quiet all night.
Okay, Nasty Jackson was running a little behind schedule this evening, so I don't even know if he's here oh, yes, he's here. So I don't know, because he usually jump in and out, but let's see if we can get in contact with Mr. Jackson, Nasty Jackson.
I just did. He should be coming on. I told him he's got to speak up.
All right.
Mike is acting up tonight.
Okay. Tell us anything, Action Jackson. Come on. You have a special guest that would like to ask you a question from Malik Jackson. Go ahead, Malik.
So throughout the conversation today, we're talking about, pleasing each other's partners. So I guess my question would be, what was your takeaway from this discussion? And I guess it's just something that you felt you had to do differently moving forward, or you felt like there's nothing that you have to really change?
Like Andrea said, I guess by me being Jamaican, I guess we don't talk openly about oral sex, so it's more like a taboo topic. My first time I had a conversation open and said about this, so it's kind of awkward for me, to be honest with you. But I'm learning what's, so that's, I probably don't anything different I'm doing right now. So I'm satisfied with my situation. So yeah.
Okay. So I'm listening. So you're telling me that in the Jamaican culture that this is a conversation that's not discussed. However, every time
it's not go, discuss, it's kind of it's like for the most men wouldn't talk about it in an open setting because it's like taking your manlyhood away from you. So they make music or songs to like not to be comfortable having this conversation. Does that make sense? So it's like
but I would think differently because in Jamaica, everyone is your baby love, and it's always a Dexter. Like Stella, get your groove back. You had to get you a Dexter from Jamaica.
That's
so
true, but
you would think that a Jamaican would be more so out there because, like you say, you can't go nowhere without a Jamaican man, especially I would say with myself. They say, hey, baby love, can I talk to you? Can I render you my voice? So
exactly.
I'm just saying.
They're more passionate, like we call it like bedroom bully. We know how to please and satisfy a woman like, they come 10 to 20 times. Or, what Darren says, 2 for 1. So, but the oral sex part, they don't discuss or talk about. So it's
okay.
Andrea could testify, right, Andrea? Or comment on it.
What I'm taking from this is that the Jamaican Dexter would be more so a penetrator instead of a stimulator. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
correct. We know all the right. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I can definitely say I could probably co-sign. So maybe that's why they kind of create a false taboo around it. Not like it doesn't happen, but it's not something you talk about, and it's not something they necessarily brag about. So hence it has more of a stigma to it. So it's almost like, I don't know. But yeah, definitely. Okay. I agree.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I've learned something different now about the Jamaican culture. I got it. I understand it. Now we have an iPhone, but it doesn't have a name or anything. iPhone, would you like to say something? Nothing from iPhone? Okay. All right. I see Special K is in the house. Welcome, Special K. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Are you able to hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, so I'm not on camera because I am in the car, and
that's
so it's
fine,
dark.
That's fine.
Okay. So I got kicked off earlier, but I did hear some bits and pieces of everything. So my question would be, or my thought that I was wondering is, so I've heard from, some friends and just people in general over the years that their spouse or their mate just is not interested or doesn't require oral sex. It's something they don't have to do with that spouse, that and it's whether it's a male, a female and her man, or vice versa. So if how would you feel or take that if your spouse is not interested in oral sex, and say that's something you are and you want to give to them, and they're not, you can if you want, or you don't have to, or it's not something that they initiate with you? Is that like, could you be still content in your relationship if that was the dynamic of it?
Well, I would hope that in any relationship, you have more to go on other than the sexual aspects of it. Now, if your partner is that type of person that does not like it, point blank, period, that's a conversation that you all are going to have to discuss. Because if someone doesn't like, that's just like me. I don't like white meat. I don't like the white breast of the chicken. So I will take any part of the chicken other than the breast. But if I get hungry enough, guess what? I'm gonna eat that breast. So it's a discussion that you all have to talk about and have a true conversation about it. Because it's just like I was saying, the older generation, that was something that they didn't talk about. And the older guy that I spoke to, and he said that he was going to come on. I don't know if that's iPhone down there, but he said that because of the way in which he was brought up, and also some people have a factor saying because of religion. Now, I had this one young man that told me because of his religion, that was the most degrading thing that a woman could ever ask him to do to her, as well as he felt like that was the most degrading thing for him to ask a woman to do to him because of his religion.
So Dr. Fabulous, I have a question. Okay, so that brings up a good point. So at what point, I wonder, in a relationship or in the courting stage or dating stage, does that come up? Because how do two people who say, say, for example, I have to have that as foreplay, right? If that's my thing, and I
so
like
what you're saying, you would tell your person that you're dating or getting ready to date, that's almost like a prerequisite. And if that person doesn't respond or reciprocate to your prerequisite, then guess what? That may not be the person for you. Right. A lot of people, and that's why I say this, a lot of people date people that really aren't their match, but they do it because they're lonely, they want a free dinner, they want something out of the deal, but that person may just not be for them. And you can have a general conversation to find out, hey, even, age, I'm 59. And if I'm dating someone and if I think it's going to go to intimacy, that's a conversation that you would have with that individual. But if you think that your relationship is just going to be strictly platonic, then why bother? You understand? But
and so that's why when I date or whatever, and someone asks what I'm looking for and this, that, and the other, and I'm always saying compatibility is very high on my list. And sometimes I get looked at crazy for that, but that means a lot, especially as you start to get older. Like you said, you just don't want to waste time anymore. Like, you don't want to waste time. So why be with someone who doesn't share your interests, your life, and you're just not compatible on, most levels?
And that's the reason why you date with a purpose. And when you meet someone and you think, hey, this could be my match, what do? You got to communicate, because if you don't exercise your voice, if you don't ask questions, if you don't share information, it's just like walking into a door that's completely shut. So you got to be able to have a conversation with the individual. That's why when you meet people and all they can say, oh, you're beautiful, da da da, and they can't hold a decent conversation, Majority, 9 out of 10, is not even worth your while because all they're thinking about is the exterior. You're never going to get any deeper than the exterior of. And if you're looking for a person just for a one night stand, then that's when you're just surface level. But if you want it to go further than a one night stand and you want something more, you definitely have to be able to communicate with that individual. And I see
I
we're
definitely agree.
Are we sharing? Who's sharing the screen?
That's
that
me.
is Dr. Feelgood? And what are you sharing, Dr. Feelgood? Because I can't see it that close. It doesn't have a title or anything.
Says 10 dynamite oral sex positions.
Oh, okay. So
That
you
is
want
Danny's favorite position.
you say that's Danny's?
Yeah, the midget version of it.
Oh Lord. Danny didn't come on tonight. I thought Danny would have been here for this conversation. But you know, as I said, it's all I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
He doesn't eat, he doesn't perform cunnilingus, so he wasn't coming on.
Oh, okay. He doesn't perform. Oh, okay. All right. So see, that's a topic. Lady T always say you have those 20 questions that you ask, and this is what I'm going to ask the males on this podcast this evening. If a woman started a conversation with you and she started to talk about oral stimulation, what would you be? Would you be embarrassed? Would you join in? Or would you say, hey, that's not something I feel comfortable talking about? As I already know, Doc Action Jackson said that's a conversation that he doesn't like discussing. So, of course, we already know with him that wouldn't be something that he would be discussing. Okay, so in the comments, you can type whether that would be a yay or a nay, because I just would like to see. Now, there got to be a person weighing about 85 pounds for them to flip them up like that in the air. That's definitely an 85-pound. Okay.
That's the Golden Gate.
I can't see my my participation, my people participating. So I guess no one put in the chat box unless mine is not
What was
working.
the question again?
The question is if a female or a person that you were dating started the conversation, a female starts the conversation openly about oral stimulation, what would be your response or your reaction? And you can verbalize it if you choose to. If not, you can type it in the chat.
If you're two grown adults, you should be able to have that conversation. It's a conversation. It's something that's got to be discussed.
Okay. All right. Now, you know what? When I look at some of those positions, I just start to laugh because I'm saying without a shadow of a doubt, all of those positions must be made for people who are about 112 pounds, 115 pounds. Because can you just imagine? Did you all see the one that said the wheelbarrow? You trying to hold up her legs and she's
You'll
on
be
her
surprised how many of them would try it.
Okay, well, go on and try. Go on and try. Okay, well, it is 10:04, and I would like to give the opportunity for distinguished brother to give his closing remarks. Then I'm going to come on to Lady T, Dr. Feelgood, Action Jackson, and of course, Lady K. Excuse me, Special K. I done gave you a new name this evening. So, distinguished brother, would you like to have some closing remarks?
First of all, thank you guys for having me on. Secondly, I will say that everything and anything is open for discussion when you're in a relationship, and it should be discussed, especially beforehand. And once you have that discussion, be willing to go all in, be enthusiastic, understand that it is your job to make that other, to please that other person. And if you're like some of us on the panel, pleasing you makes us very happy.
All right. Well, distinguished brother, chalk that one up for a distinguished brother. Lady T.
Well, I would piggyback on that. Just take your time and learn your partner. Stop rushing things. Learn. It's okay to let them know, where you like to be touched, toys, you like to play with, even some handcuffs. I mean, sex is free now. It's not that closed in. So I would say just take, baby steps. You will
I
love
have
it.
a
I
question.
promise.
You said something that caught my attention, Lady T. You said sex. Is there a difference between sex and making love?
Absolutely.
Yes, I
Okay.
believe so.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Distinguished brother, you laugh. Why did you laugh?
I define it differently.
You
Sex
define it
for me involves intimacy and the F word. It's all
correct.
sex. The
Okay.
difference comes in with the intimacy part when you're trying to learn that person from head to toe, top to bottom, side to side. What makes you lose your mind?
Okay.
Trying to keep it classy using the F word means that, you know what, for whatever, this is a good example. I heard something online last week. This lady was describing a time that she was having with her man, and he stopped mid stroke and said, "You know, I love you, right?" "Yeah." "Well, I just want you to remember that because right now I'm about to, like, I don't." And that is
Okay.
the difference. Intimacy, you can feel, you can touch, you can rub, but when it comes down to that good old F word, you just want to knock the bottom out of that thing and make them say, "I quit."
Okay.
Well,
All
how does
right.
that feel, distinguished brother? Like, what's the purpose behind that?
What was that?
What is the purpose behind that? How does that feel? I mean, you would
What is the
think
purpose behind which one?
knocking the bottom out.
I'm sorry, I muted myself. Because there are times when if you are with the right person and you're in the right situation, she can wear a certain thing, she can move a certain way, she can look at you just right, and you just be like, "God damn it, woman, this is it. I'm gonna tear you up." And then there are times where you're just like, "You know what, baby? I just want to make you feel like the best thing on the planet. I just want to love you up and down." So each one has its time and place. But there are times if the woman knows what she's doing, she can just make it could be a football game, he could be in the middle of work. Hell, he could be on a video chat at work. She could do a certain thing, walk a certain way, wear a certain outfit. Everything stops. And my only job is to just, yes, that's it. That's all I'm after. I'm trying to
Okay.
keep all the other wording to myself.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Well, we understand. We definitely understand. So now moving on to Special K.
Yes, well, I just want to say my apologies. I came in on the late end of everything, but I made a point to be here tonight. Thank you all for participating. And just remember, communication really is everything. Definitely have to communicate your likes and your wants to your partner. and then see if you guys can come together on the same page. Everyone have a great night and enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend.
All
Dr.
right.
Fabulous.
Action Jackson.
Yeah, I'm here. Well, it was a great show. I learned a lot from both all the panelists and the host tonight. Hopefully, I can apply some of the knowledge I learned into my relationship. I'm not sure how I'll go, but I'm willing to be open, I guess.
Got to be open and honest. Dr. Feelgood.
The golden voice.
Lady's choice.
Okay. Well, he put up something, the importance of a blowjob in sex life. You got the men, you got the women. Somewhat important. Looked like it was a high for men. Are you back, Dr. Feelgood?
Yeah, I was trying to, smarter than the equipment thing.
Gotcha.
Course, y'all forgot I'm smooth as a Rolls Royce.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I found this on here. It was pretty.
That was Special K's line.
Nearly 30% of men would choose fellatio over intercourse. Now, but as you can see, it's more important. It's somewhat important to men by 10% over women. Women like it less. Say it's less important as it goes on, but more men think that it's important. And like I said, it usually doesn't lead to a climax, but it does mean that men don't like the stimulation. I want to thank y'all, each and every one of y'all, for coming on out there. This is for the people that'll be watching this on YouTube or Facebook Live. I want to thank y'all for participating. Like, share, and subscribe. Upscale Love for you. If you have a subject you want to give to us, Upscale Love, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. We also have a Facebook group. We also are on YouTube. Same Upscale Love for you. Back to you, Dr. Fab.
All right. Well, with that being said, I was looking for Danielle. Danielle, like we said, we have an email where you can send your questions to. And Danielle actually sent in this question. And unless Danielle is the iPhone to the bottom of the barrel, I wanted her to come on, but I think that it, as you say, it's a sensitive subject, but she wanted to know because she's in, and let me give you all the full story. She's in a relationship where her mate wants her to perform stimulation. However, he doesn't want to perform stimulation on her. And I said, girl, if it's not a 50-50 show, don't even, don't even color in that coloring book. You close that coloring book real tight, because if they can't give you a gift, he definitely won't receive one. So with that being said, if you have any questions you would like to share with Upscale Love for You, please send it to Upscale Love for You, the letter 4, the letter U at gmail.com. And we will definitely air it. We will talk about it. And hopefully, Danielle, if you're listening, or if that's you, Danielle, tell your friend, if he can't get with the master plan, the plan is not a plan. And with that being said, I'm going to say good night and smooches. Good night, everyone.